Hey, soul seekers, it is intuitive energy healer Kathy Weiss here. Welcome to this week's episode of Monday Messages. I'm coming to you live from my reading room on the central coast of California, and I'm so excited for today's message. It's called Welcome to the Flow, and there's so much juicy stuff that we're going to be talking about today. But before we dive in, if you're new to me or newer to me, it's important for you to know what it is that I'm doing or what's going on during these messages. So, I am a highly sensitive, intuitive, clairvoyant, and source energy channel. As an intuitive, I have the ability to feel both collective and individual energy in the present moment. And then clairvoyance just means that that energy provides images in my mind, and I translate those images into healing messages, into guidance, into very simple action steps that you can follow in your life. And then as a source energy channel, when I sit down and I get quiet and still, I utilize more of a skill called clairaudience, which means that when my thinking mind gets quiet, I hear words and phrases that translate into the messages that I share with you each week on Monday Messages. And that's really important because I channeled the message for today back in January. So, like way back in January, this message came through with a note to deliver it to you guys on April 1st. And so, all January, February, even through March, when I thought about this message or would peek at it, I was getting images in my mind of things like water and fluid, and the colors like blue and turquoise and a little bit of purple, and so really it was the energy of the ocean. And even this morning I had on some of my own personal crystals. It was like abalone and another crystal that comes from the ocean, so it was like all ocean energy, water. And about 30 minutes ago, so it's 12:30 Pacific time right now, and about 12 o'clock when I was ready to like sit down and get situated for you guys today, it was like slamming on the brakes, like a big old screech. And I had to like get rid of the ocean energy, and all I kept hearing in my mind was light pink, light pink, light pink. And so you can see down here, I've got some different crystals, and I'm going to explain to you what these crystals are and then get into the message about welcome to the flow, because this is going to make a huge difference in the way that today's message lands. So I'm going to start here in the middle. This is rhodochrosite. Again, it's a big old chunky word, rhodochrosite. It's pink and a little bit of black mixed in there with it. And what this crystal does is it opens the heart and it lifts depression. So over here, this is to my right. This is rose quartz. It's very, very light pink. And I use rose quartz when I am bringing in the energy of self-love and compassion for self. And then lastly, over here on what would be my left, this is pink opal. And I'm not sure how pink it's going to show up for you on the camera, but it's very similar shade to the rose quartz. And so pink opal is about emotional healing and balance. It heals the heart, and it has the energy of peace, tranquility, and hope. But what's so interesting is that these two are all about healing the heart, and this is about self-love and compassion. And what I started to hear for you guys is that when we get into the message about getting into the flow, that some of you are going to like have a little bit of resistance or a little bit of reaction to it, because there is this notion that we have to get everything right and do everything perfectly. And I feel really super emotional. So somebody, if you're watching right now live, hey Tiffany, I could be speaking to you, I could be speaking to someone else who's watching live or even later, but I started to feel really super emotional. Um, that what we're being invited to do is welcome and accept our humanity. right? We're human. We came to be human, and that means we're going to F things up a lot, like more often than we get things right. And that's part of it. We're supposed to struggle and stumble, and this is how we grow and expand. So as I get into the message, if you're starting to feel a little bit like, that's what this is for. This is to heal your heart. This is to heal your emotions, and it's about self-compassion. It's about welcoming and accepting that you are human. You're supposed to be messy, you're supposed to do things wrong, and that's just part of it. So you can let that settle any sort of like personal judgment about yourself, and you can let that settle any anxiety that you're doing things wrong. And I'm hearing like, let's get into the message, but I'm gonna tell you a couple stories towards the end. And just lastly, if you, I'm not sure how well the volume is working for you guys, but I opened my window so you could hear this gorgeous wind chime that I have right outside, because I'm hearing that for some of you, just that resonant sound is going to be really healing. And so you might listen in the background for it. It'll come and go with the breeze. Okay. So let's get into Welcome to the Flow. Now, for those of you who may not know me super well, I am a total word nerd. And anytime we start to talk about specific words, I totally always have to go look them up and see what their literal dictionary definition is. So you'll see me peek to the side, and that's because that's where I have my notes to keep me on track for you guys. So the word flow, its definition is to move along or out in a steady or continuous stream or current. And the word current jumped out at me. So move along or out steady and continuously in a current. And the current that we're talking about when we say welcome to the flow is like what I sometimes call universe juice or cosmic jellyfish. That current that is broader and greater than us, but that is also us. So remember, you are always connected to the flow. You're always connected to that current or that stream. It's more a matter of, are you aware of it? And are you making efforts to try to align with it and work with it? Because you have free will. You can work with and align with that flow and that current or not. So here's today's message. It's super poetic. It's really lovely. And then we're going to have like a little bit of story and oracle cards afterwards. So here's what it says. Energy is flowing now. Energy is always flowing. Sit still, tap in, turn on. Flow is ease. Flow is obviousness. Flow is subtle. Flow is kind. Flow is careful. Flow is honest. Flow is pure. Welcome to the flow. You are pure, positive energy, life force. Receive that which is yours and embrace the gift of you. That which already is yours resides within your heart. Hear its call and feel its pull. Let the flow take you there. Welcome to the flow. You are a radiant being. You are pure, positive love, life force. Be still, tap in, turn on. The flow will take you home to your heart. Guys, I'm so emotional. I know this is really landing with some of you in a really deep way. And that last sentence, the flow is going to take you home to your heart. That's what all this heart healing energy is about. So I just want you to like seep that in and maybe at some point even go back and watch that part again. You know what, maybe later in the week, I might even type this one up and post it on Instagram at lightworker_Kathy and on Facebook, which if you're watching me live, that's Lightworker Kathy Weiss. But I wanted to tell two stories about what the flow feels like in real life, because this is super beautiful message. It's really poetic, but it's a little bit like, yeah, how am I supposed to apply that? So the first story that I have is, it's really simple and it's really small, and it's about like how flow works in your life. So yesterday afternoon, I sat down to paint my fingernails and I painted them purple sparkles because, like I was saying, the energy that I was feeling for this message was like purple and blue and watery and liquid. And I looked at them and I was like, like it was just wrong. Like I had to get it off of my fingers. So like I immediately took the purple sparkles off, and then I started going for red. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna paint my nails red, and and again it was like like oh, like glaringly painful to look at, and so I ended up with this lighter pink color, unbeknownst to me that I was gonna feel that energy shift into the heart healing energy we ended up with today. And so that's flow. Flow is trusting that if there is a discord, you want to follow that discord where it's leading you until there is no more discord. Okay, because flow is what feels good. And so when discord arrives, it just means you've been a little bit kicked out of flow, and you just explore different avenues until you land back in it. And flow not only is all these beautiful words, but it feels good. Something as simple as finding the correct nail polish color. And now another example is, say, we all get like newsletters from different people that we've signed up with in the past. And there may be someone like every week you get their newsletter and you're like, not going to read it. Not going to read it. Not going to read it. And then one day you're like, I think I'm going to read that. And you land inside of it, and all of a sudden you decide to watch their video or buy their book or sign up for the course that they're offering. That again is flow. It's like that trusting that you're being led to the right place and the right resources at the right time for the right reasons. And that flow is ease. And so it's like you don't even have to go out and find those things, because they are going to find you when you're ready and when you need them. And so that's what flow is. It's like flow is like it's all in your heart, and the things are going to come to you at the right time. And I even want to look back. And what it says is that which is already yours resides within your heart. Everything that's already yours. And I don't mean just things, experiences, the things that you're called to read and write and listen and watch, and the people that you want to hang out with and spend time with. They're already yours, and they're already in your heart as a part of that current or that stream. And so a little bit of flow, when it says that it's easy and it's kind and it's careful, is that you don't have to fight life to get those things to come to you. And the more you can be easeful and gentle and subtle, and again, out of discord, finding what feels good, it's going to lead you right back around to that stuff in such a way that you almost will think like, it was so obvious that how could it be the magic of the universe? But that's really what's happening with flow. Now, I am going to stick with the Oracle of the Mermaids cards. Like I said, when I first started getting into this message for you guys, it was all about ocean and energy and flow and fluidity. And then this morning, even I was like, oh, the mermaids are calling. So I definitely feel like that is still the best course of action for our Oracle card this week. So let's see what we get. Give her a quick shuffle. And you know what? This one's kind of like sticking out, and I'm not feeling compelled to pop it back in, but draw it out. So let's go with this one today. Okay, totally paused because I was like, how do you pronounce her name? Conchomancy. Conchomancy. Shell divination and the wisdom of shells. That's interesting. She is like so beautiful and so intense, and I don't really know a lot about her, so I definitely want to take a look into the guidebook for her. But what I'm drawn to is this starfish right in the middle, and again, it's like right on her heart, and like just this power that all of the wisdom that you need is in your heart. It's in your heart. Okay, it's like we're just going to take a little pause, because what I'm hearing is like to emphasize that it's in your heart. It's not what outside people are telling you. It's not someone else's formula. It's not someone else's results. It's not someone else's path to the result. It's all yours, and it's all in your heart. And flow is the ease of trusting and following into your heart, especially when the outside resources that come in create discord. So if there is even a sub message today, is that when discord arises, that is so awesome and so welcome it. It's just indicating that you've popped out of flow and that you're meant to start searching again for the thing that feels good, because that is your flow, and everybody's flow is going to be different, sisters. Let's take a quick peek into the guidebook and then we're going to wrap it up for today. Here's what she says. Just as crystals hold energy, oh, we've got them down here, and messages for us, so do the beautiful living homes and structures of sea creatures. Oh yeah, somebody who's watching is all about like seashells and seahorses. I'm hearing super loud, way loud seahorses. And if that's landing with you, you should probably go, like, not right this second, but after the video is done, go and search for what seahorses symbolize so that you can embrace that. And I have a feeling some of you are going to start seeing a lot of seahorses, like in your Instagram feed or on somebody's t-shirt, or I don't know, bumper stickers or something like that. Um, each creature resonates with a particular energy, and by connecting with their shell or their energy and feeling its qualities and understanding its connections, we can begin to heal a part of ourselves. And so that's really what this whole message was about today, was like healing that part of ourselves that thinks we have to always have things perfect and right and figured out, because we don't. What we are being asked to do is to always be exploring if we're in flow or out of flow. And we are all at some point going to be in flow and out of flow. What I would love to have happen is for you to be in flow more. So when you're kicked out, just start exploring until you find what feels good and it calls you back home to your heart. Here's the thing, guys. I so super stoked for the weekend. And then I am so super stoked for the week. And my weekends and my weeks look so radically different from each other. And yet I love them both equally. Like, it's off the charts how much I love them both equally. And this is flow. And this is what I help people like you do. If you are exploring and you're like, I can't find my way in, I can't find my way in, I can't find what feels good, reach out to me. Join a session of Monday Minis. We have a group of Soul Tribe people that come together and have readings and messages, and it's super awesome. Or you can have a private one-on-one session with me. All you need to do is visit my website, kathy-weiss.com. There's all kinds of info there. If you are still not sure, comment, message me, reach out, because I love you and I want you to feel stoked about your life, and I want you to feel like you're in the flow as much as you possibly can be. Today's message is complete. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I love you to pieces, and I will see you again next Monday for another episode of Monday Messages. Have a great week, guys. Namaste. Love you. Bye. Bye.